I'm Mason Mount. You're listening to the London is Blue podcast.
All right, well, let's go ahead and kick on to the first point is that, some people I think are getting a little overexcited about the preseason matches. We're talking about it. So Marco, Gate17 Marco on Twitter, love this. It's preseason, it's preseason, it's preseason, it's preseason. Just over and over reminding everyone, don't get too out of shape. Follows it up with, it's a preseason friendly. It's 1,000 degrees Celsius. Stop over analyzing. And then his grand finale, rigorous fitness workout in tropical greenhouse conditions. To win football games, even friendlies, you have to put the ball in the back of the net more than your opponents. Chelsea had a myriad of opportunities to score, which is a lot better than creating nothing. Be patient. That's kind of the theme here. There was a lot of discussion on Twitter, Mike, back and forth on, it's just a lot of different things. There's the Chelsea can't even score against the J-League team. Then there was the opposite of this is a really good J-League team, is actually quality opposition that made it uncomfortable for Chelsea. Again, your reaction, preseason friendly, first probably hard match these guys have even seen.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to go with an Iverson quote. And practice, we're talking about practice. You know what I mean? This, it's important for us to be able to see people run out. But I think people overreacting on Twitter, it has no impact of what happens this season, with the exception of somebody going down hurt. And as long as, Frank has a good chance to scout the limited options that he has this year without a transfer window. Just working on fitness is all that you can really do, Dan. So to me, it's a bunch of, it doesn't really matter, and I think people are getting upset about nothing because that is Chelsea Twitter.
Well, a lot of it, right, Silves, is you look at the substitutions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players came on at halftime, right? So he's managing minutes. Another 2 came off at 55 minutes, and then 7, right? It was very regimented. These guys knew going into the game exactly how many minutes they were going to play.
Yeah, when all these subs does break up the rhythm of the game. Again, it's about individual fitness rather than anything else. And also, they're halfway through their season, so they've got the most important thing, which is match fitness, which is what we're building by playing all these friendlies. Twitter's like really a good and a bad place. I think if you look at some of the responses yesterday, like really crazy. People saying, I want Sarri back. I mean, seriously, it's a friendly guy.
Oh my gosh!
I know. I sort of like, I want.
To be fair, Maurizio didn't get a preseason, so who knows how he would have done.
He only 3 days. People say that he had 3 days. Someone goes, Sarri didn't die for this. I'm like, well, Sarri died. He smoked 60 a day, but that's not something.
Oh my god!
It's purely fitness. I just, we got Barcelona on Wednesday, and if we get ripped apart, meltdown's going to be even worse. But just get the fitness going, get the players. He'll be, as we get towards the European games, we'll start to see maybe a first 11 taking shape, who he thinks, and how his 25-man squad's going to be built down. I think certainly Palmer probably won't be part of that. I'm pretty sure that he's going to drop by the way, so I don't think he's good enough at this level. But I say we'll come on to those players further down the line.
Well, I think a key point too is that we have played teams that are well within their season, who are already up to fitness. So Kawasaki Frontale are 18 matches into their season, 9 wins, 8 draws, 1 loss. They're in 3rd place. They're the defending league champions, and they've scored 21 goals and allowed 11, one of the best defensive records in the J-League right now. So we're not playing scrubs, So I mean, I think that's the thing to keep in mind too, is that even though, yes, the overall quality mid-season to mid-season between the Premier League and the J-League probably is miles apart, we also are not up to fitness at this point in time. So that's, I think, a big structural thing to keep in mind, Nick, about where the context of it is very important.
Right. And I don't know. I think more than just fitness, it's like giving guys who wouldn't have a chance to shine. Like, I agree, we'll get into the fringe players here in a second, but like Palmer, for the example, Silves, like, if we never see him play at this level, if we never see him play against Kawasaki, or if we never see him play against any of the Irish teams that we played, like there's just we'll never know. So we have to run these guys out. We have to give them a chance. And we also have to realize, and I think this is a really important point, a lot of these guys never stop playing throughout the year. Maybe they take 2 weeks off. Like, I can't imagine the physical strain that goes on to your body, especially a guy like Dave who plays every single game, every single year, all the time, full effort. There are players who can get away with taking their foot off the gas, and we know who those players are. Players like Dave, it looked like he was running through quicksand last night, and I can totally understand why. Like, he absolutely does not take a break. And so you have to, I think, have a little bit of grace at this point of the year to let these guys kind of work their way through it. I mean, it has to just be difficult. They're doing 2 days probably, and they have to go through all this like crazy travel, and their bodies are probably just warped. Yeah, there's a lot that goes into this, so please, like, let's just watch and enjoy, and then when we get to United, that's when you start taking shit.
That's
seriously.
when the business starts. Yeah, that's when you're like, then you can be a bit more critical. But even then, it's 3-4 games to get momentum going. Because competitive matches like Man United, that's the real match fitness. Because these friendlies aren't paid at full pelt; they're not paid at 100 miles an hour. So once we start playing United, Leicester, whoever it might be, then we'll get the match fitness going. Then we'll see September, maybe after the international break, we'll start seeing players playing at full level.
Well, yeah, and a big part of it too, right, is this preseason is way more important than any other preseason we've had, because you can't go plug holes with signings like we've been able to do in the past. We have to see as many players as possible and get them as many minutes as possible so Frank and his team can make the best decision on who stays and who goes. Like, I think not having the transfer window as an option for us just makes it that much more important. And I think that's why they're going to give guys a lot more time before they make a decision. They have to. And Nick, you're right. Like, preseason is brutal. I remember when we went and met with the team in Minneapolis a few years ago, even Dave was they were exhausted talking to us at like 7 at night, 2-a-days. Dave was exhausted. The amount of physical effort they are putting into it right now is intense. We even saw it, Eden Hazard, just running sprints over and over and over. And that was the day before the match, right? Like, they are going 100%. There's no tapering in preseason like a normal season.
Well, and the whole point of these things too, and like we learned, we were the beneficiaries of this. They came and did an hour kind of meet and greet chat with us after so they have all these extra responsibilities that they go through when they're zonked, when they're tired, when they've been through like, just put the whole picture together in your brain, people. Like, it's not hard to understand. If you've Brandon works these long days. Like, if you've worked a 12-hour day, the last thing you want to do is go work some more. Like, it's just, come on, really.
D Dorm here putting in last season's preseason results, right? 1 win, 3 draws, finished 3rd and won the Europa League, and we went to Australia, for some different things like that. So these guys, thankfully, they travel in luxury. Their schedule is accommodating as it can be, but they're there to put in the work and get ready for a long and tough season. So, again, just want to kind of put that out there. Preseason has always been a mixed bag of results. Remember in 2013-14, we didn't win any silver Mourinho's second spell, but you would have thought we would have won something since, we had six wins and a draw. You just never know. Preseason is not a direct indicator for the rest of the season. So I think that's the main